Let's turn this builder grade kitchen island into a beautiful modern farmhouse styled one. They're what?
They're just nailed in.
Oh my god. So they're fake. They do nothing.
They do nothing.
I've been wanting those out for 5 years.
Let me get the
4 years, 3 years. However long we've been here.
4 years.
That's one of those things that always cracks me up when we do these projects, is it's always something that like bugged us and then it's just gone in like 30 seconds. And it took like years to do it.
Oh shit, can you hand me my hammer?
First step is just getting rid of everything that is on the bar. So scoring the caulk and getting rid of these ugly baseboards. If you don't want to remove all the nails left from the baseboards, you can just take a hammer and knock them back into the drywall.
Here I am measuring the bar so I can go outside and then rip down a full sheet of 1/4 inch thick plywood into the sizes we need. We're then going to dry fit it against the bar. Here I am using the Craig Rip Cut. It's a jig for your circular saw that makes it so you can keep a straight edge, just like the one from the factory. As soon as we started to dry fit the two pieces, we found out that they actually overlapped. This is because the bar is crooked. We're going to have to trim some off here. Here I'm cutting out the panel for the end of the bar. The bullnose granite that we have installed makes it a little bit tricky, but we have the tools to do the job. After this project, we figured out pretty quick that we needed a contour gauge. Crystal will leave a link in the description, but dang is it helpful.
Oh no, son of a...
My measurements were much better the second time around. Some people also use liquid nails on a section like this. We're not going to use it just in case someday we want to take it off.
important step that's easily overlooked is shimming the trim pieces so that everything lines up flush at the seams.
Since I don't have a table saw, I actually had to do some strange method with the circular saw to provide a miter cut. This included a lot of clamps and a lot of readjusting of those clamps to make sure that I had a straight edge on it. The miter cut is achieved by tilting your saw to the 45-degree angle mark and running it down the length of the board you're cutting. To make the X's for the bar, you need to figure out the angle that the trim is going towards the center of the rectangle and then line off a 45-degree angle off of that. That's so it fits in the corner of the rectangle and fits perfectly with the other pieces in the center. After you've made one good one, just trace it onto another piece and do it about 16 times. Because apparently there is no such thing as a perfectly straight wall, you may have to resize one or two of them. And I am done. Crystal's up.
So once everything is installed, you're going to want to go through and get all the seams with a wood putty. I'm using the DAP plastic wood, and I'll leave a link in the description box below for everything that we're using today. You're going to get all the seams because you do want this to look like a seamless finish and you don't want to see any gaps or seams. Scott's job may look really hard with all of the cuts he has to make, but let me tell you, fixing all his mistakes is even harder. This whole process took me about an hour and a half, so if you are going to do something like this with this much detail and cuts made, just be prepared to spend a lot of time wood filling. Filling in nail holes is a lot easier with the squeezy tube of the wood filler. This process probably took me less than 10 minutes. I also want to point out that when I am doing any wood filler, I'll look for any knots or imperfections in the wood, and I'll go ahead and fill those too. So after I fill the nail holes, Scott did come in and sand the entire bar with a 320 grit sandpaper on an orbital sander, and then I did go ahead and prime the bar with the Kills all-purpose primer. And unfortunately, I was having some camera problems this night, so I didn't get footage of any of that happening, but I am going back in now and giving everything a quick sand with a 220 grit sanding block after it was primed. Now you're going to want to go in and caulk all the seams and any little gaps that might still be visible. If you've ever caulked before, you know how hard it is to get little corners. So yeah, this was not the funnest part of this project at all. This is one of those projects where a brush just works a lot better than a roller. It's extremely time consuming, but it just fits in the little corners easier. Oh, it's a ball.
No, I don't like it.
It's a rocket ship?
Yeah.
Whoa. If you are going to be doing this project, I highly recommend that you prime and paint the back panel before you put it on the bar. I regretted not doing this the second I started painting. Cutting in with the paintbrush is always what takes the longest. So after that was all finished, I was able to go in with the roller and get this done fairly quickly. And I did do 2 coats of paint on this, but I did only film the first coat. If you're new to my channel, I hope that you'll stick around and subscribe for more of our DIY projects in our home. Adding some custom detail to your house really just makes it feel more unique and less builder grade. I really hope I can inspire someone to add something into your house. And if you do, please find me over on Instagram and send me a picture, especially if you do a project that we've done. And now you would never be able to tell that this wasn't just part of the kitchen to begin with.